Are we called to evict a God? I'm the Christian whistleblower, Jeffrey Daugherty. This is the Gospel Truth Channel, and I come to you with a seemingly preposterous proposition, and I wanted to start this at 7 p.m. on the 7th. I wanted it to be all symbolic, but for my computer literally would not work. I had to shut it down, restart it a couple of times. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. This is something I believe that we're on to, that has to happen, something that is going to happen, and something that, even though it sounds very audacious, is actually what we're called to do, what we're meant to do. Now, Rex Bear and the Leak Project, one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite channels, was talking about us doing this today. He was talking about us starting a battle of the gods. And folks, you know, I sleep 5 hours a day. And today I've been asleep for like 13 or 14 hours, like I was drugged. And there's a lot of weird things happening, man. So I'm really going to get my protection going. We're really going to get this going. I believe that this really is something that is going to happen. It's something that needs to happen. And we're getting this done. And we're going to make this work. And I really just want to talk about, I really just want to give you an idea of what we're really talking about. I want to give you an idea of what is really going on. I want to give you an idea of what I think we're really looking at. And many people in the chat room saying that they've been hit with the same kind of things. What we're talking about is not starting a war of the gods, but evicting a God. And as Rex said on his show, Rex Bear Leak Project, I'm so glad that he talked about it. And Rex said he didn't think it was a good idea, thought it was dangerous. What if it's what we're supposed to do? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Back when I was a Christian minister, I always got the question from people of, why does God always allow suffering? Why does God allow such evil? Why does God allow such famine, pestilence, hunger, earthquakes, destruction, murders? Why does God allow all of this horrible stuff to happen? And in the Christian realm, there's really not a good answer. There's pat answers, there's silly answers, but there's really not a good answer as to why God allows such horrific suffering. So I didn't have an answer for people. And that was one of the reasons that I ended up leaving Christianity, because there were no answers for these type of questions. Why does God allow such suffering? Why does God allow such pain? Why does God allow such evil? Brian Tucker says, God is all good things. Brian, how do you explain then if God is all good things? How do you explain the murder? How do you explain the child rape? How do you explain the child sacrifice? How do you explain the incredible bloodshed, the wars, the famine, the pestilences, the disease? How do you explain that, Brian Tucker? It can't be explained. Not with any real rational means within our current paradigm. It's the devil. Blame it all on the devil. Well, that means that the devil's stronger than God. Because if God is good and the devil's bad and the devil's causing all the war, all the killing, all the suffering, all the pain, all the pestilence, then the devil's more stronger than God. And God is no God. That's one of the reasons I got out of it, because it's not true. It's an easy cop-out, like Davey says. But Davey's at the end of a rope, or Brian's at the end of a rope, just like I was. And it's about to snap, Brian. But now that I'm in free-form spirituality, the question comes up, Jeff, if the Elohim are supreme gods, and if he that shall not be named is a fallen god, why are the Elohim standing by and allowing he that shall not be named to cause all these wars? Why are the Elohim standing by and allowing he that shall not be named to do all the same things? It's the same question, but in different context. If the Elohim are strong and great gods and love us, they love us so much, then why are they allowing the rat bastard to do what the rat bastard does and continues to do? There's really no good answers to that question, but there is an answer. You may not like it, but it's the answer. And that's why we may not only be able to evict a God, but we may be called to evict a God. Let me show you what actually happened. And I don't have anything open because of the tremendous difficulty I was having here at the beginning, trying to get the show on the road at all. So let me just pull up my textual situation here and let you in on it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's what really, this is the straight scoop of what really happened in this world. Here's what really happened in this world. In the beginning, the gods created heaven and earth. And I know that I shouldn't have to go through this every time, and it almost angers me to have to go through this every time, but there's new people listening every time, and I do have to go through it, and that's okay. Because if you look in the interlinear, in the beginning, God, the gods, the Elohim. What is the Elohim? The Elohim is rulers, judges, gods, and goddesses, more than one, plural in number. So the gods in the beginning did what? They created the heavens and the earth. But not only the heavens and the earth. Down here in Genesis 1:26 and 1:27, what happened? Let us make man in our image, said the Elohim, the gods. In our image, after our likeness. Let them be like us. Who were the gods? Who were the gods? What are the gods? The gods are incorporeal. The gods are spirit. The gods are powerful. The gods are spirit beings that can manifest in bodies. And they said, let us make man. And they did make man. They made us. And how did they make us? What does it say they did? They made us just like this. They made us. This is going to be a deep one, guys. You might want to grab some note paper. They made us in their image. Well, let's look at this in the interlinear. Verse 26 and 27. This is important, maybe the most important broadcast you've ever seen. I'm serious. So the Elohim made us in their image. What is their image? Their likeness. They made us like them. They made us like them. They made us like a cutout of them. They made us comparable to them. They made us like them. And according to their likeness. They made us in similitude of them. They made us resembling them. They made us looking like them. They made us just like them. So the august, illimitable, almighty, spiritual gods made us in their image. And what did they give to us? Let them have dominion. What is dominion? Reign. Let them reign. Over what? Over all the earth. Does this say some of the earth, part of the earth, most of the earth? No, it means all of the earth. Let them reign over all what? All the earth. Let them reign over all of the earth. So in the beginning, the Elohim created us just like them, spiritual beings with the ability to manifest in bodies, and we were to have dominion over the whole earth. We were to be in charge of this earth. It was ours. And let me show you something else real quickly. But what happened was in Genesis chapter 2, verse number 6, already been created. Guess what happened? Well, we did this. We did something stupid. Because in Genesis chapter 2, where is it? In Genesis chapter 2, verse number 7, the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. What does that mean? He made these bodies, these mud hut bodies out of dirt. Why would he make these bodies out of dirt? Because we as people saw the Elohim manifesting in their physical bodies. We were just spiritual only, And we wanted to manifest in physical bodies, but we weren't ready yet. The Elohim were still training us. The Elohim were still getting us ready. The Elohim were still instructing us. The Elohim, we were still initiates. We weren't adepts yet. We were in the middle. We were learning to manifest our entire godhood. And the Lord comes along. He that shall not be named comes along. It says, look, I used to be one of them. They threw me out because I know how to get you into those bodies that they won't let you in right now. They're trying to keep something from you. He sold us that the Elohim were trying to keep something from us, the ones who made us just like them, the ones who made us just like them, the ones who made us just like them, and were teaching us to manifest all of our Elohim nature. He says they're holding something back from you. I made these bodies just like the ones they're going to give you, but if you'll just go in them now, you don't have to worry about doing all their waiting, all their training. Just do it now. So we went into the bodies now, and guess what? We were trapped in the bodies. And all of these new age unicorn and rainbows people say, they love to say, we're a spiritual being having a bodily experience, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're right. We are a spiritual being, but our bodily experience is being trapped. And who took the dominion over the earth? The Lord took it. He who shall not be named took it. That's twice. He took the dominion. He took the dominion that is supposed to be ours. But he didn't just take our dominion. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. 2 Chronicles 34:7. Look what else he did. 2 Chronicles 34, and I'm not ignoring you in the chat room. I just got to get this laid down. 2 Chronicles 34:7. And the Lord broke down the altars. The altars to what? What are altars to? Am I even showing you this? I'm not. He broke down the altars. What are altars to? Altars are to gods. He broke down the altars to the other gods. He cut down the groves, which were places of worship for other gods. He destroyed their images. He brought down all their statues. He declared war on the other gods. He that shall not be named declared war on the other gods. 2 Kings 18:4. He removed the high places, the other places of worship of the other gods. He broke the images of the other gods, cut down the groves, broke in pieces, even the thing that Moses had made. He broke down and destroyed the worship of all the other gods. And then what happened when he became the god of Rome? They marched out and destroyed all the other gods. Rex talks about just starting a war of the gods. There's already been a war of the gods. He who shall not be named went out and aggressively destroyed all the other gods. He stole their worship. He stole their prayers. When the Roman army, let's just make it here for our time. Let's just make it here in for modern times, so we can kind of put it into context with ourselves. Let's just look at it in our own times. When Constantine decided that he was going to become a Christian, and he got the vision that said, in this sign, go forth and conquer. Do you know what that sign was? Well, somebody made a beautiful piece of art of it. When Constantine decided he was going to go forth in this sign and conquer, that's the sign he went forth to conquer in. And that's the sign he took and destroyed all the other pagan religions. They would march into a place and say, I know that you're worshiping Danu up here in Ireland, but you can't worship her anymore. You have to worship God. The ones that we call Yahweh, the Lord, you have to worship him. So the name of Danu could not be called upon anymore. The people could not pray anymore to Danu. They could only pray to the Lord. So the Lord was stealing. The Lord, we have to say his name in the show, he stole the worship of all the gods and all the lands that the Romans conquered. And what was the next great country that he took over and that went conquering in another sign? Oh, look at that sign. This is the sign of Great Britain. Do you see anything familiar there? The sign that Great Britain went and conquered in was what? The cross. Great Britain conquered in the sign of the cross. They did the same thing. They went to all the countries of the world and said, you can't speak the names of these other gods. You have to speak only the name of the Lord. Folks, there's already been a war of the gods. And Yahweh went out and didn't even conquer the gods. He didn't take on the gods. All he did was forbid the people to pray to them or to mention them or to worship them. Why? Because if a God doesn't get, if a God's name is not heard from the lips of men, if a God does not receive praise, if a God does not receive worship, if a God does not receive honor and respect from men, that God or goddess dies. It ceases to exist. He, she ceases to exist. So this is what Yahweh did to all the other gods. But Jeff, you were going to tell us why the Elohim haven't done anything. Well, let me show you something. And because the show was so messed up trying to get it started, I had to go, wasn't able to get this all laid out, so you just have to be a little bit patient with me. Look in Genesis chapter 1. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. Now, don't all you FE people start getting excited, because it doesn't mean, that word doesn't mean what you think it means. So God made the gods, the Elohims made a firmament. Well, what is a firmament and why does it matter, Jeff? And why would you bring that up right now? Because it's key to what we're talking about here. And you're going to see what it is. And God said, let there be a firmament. What is a firmament? A firmament is an expanse. A firmament is a surface. A firmament is an expanse. A firmament is a place. It is an area. A firmament is an area in which what? He made a space. The gods made a space. They made a firmament. Okay? They made a space. They made a firmament. This is what the gods did. And then they also made what? Dry land in verse number 9. So they made this space. And then in verse number 9, they also made dry land. And when they made dry land, what is dry land? Dry land is dry ground. It's land. It is. So what they did was created this space. They created this place of land. And they divided it so that there was a place. It is an expanse. It is a place. It's like an arena if you get into the full Greek and Hebrew of it. They made an arena. And I wasn't showing you that, damn it, but it's there. They made an arena. What did they make an arena for? And now we're getting to why don't the Elohim do something? Now we're getting to why haven't the Elohim done something? They created this place, this arena. And you'll have to listen to some of my other, above the flat earth, some of my other videos. Above the flat plane, I think it was called anyway. They created a place, a space, an arena. Why would they create an arena? What happens in an arena? A contest happens in an arena. They created an arena. They created a place for a contest. They created a place for a proving ground to be. They created a place of a proving ground. Well, Jeff, what in the world are you talking about that they created a place of a proving ground? Well, think about it. They created us to be baby Elohims, for lack of a better word. They created us to be Elohims. They created us to be Elohims. How do you learn how to be an Elohim? How do you learn how to be an Elohim? You have to have a place of practice. You have to have an arena. You have to have something that you can, something you can do in a place you can do it. You have to have an arena. And the Elohim created an arena. They created an area for us to grow as gods. They created a place for us to grow and to develop. And what's been happening in this place, you saw we were made to have dominion over it. You saw that, damn it, my alarm is going off and it won't stop. Hold on. Everything is trying to do everything it can to mess this up. There's a ton of opposition to this message, but we are not going to stop. We're going to get it all out, period. So the Elohim made us to have dominion. We got conned into these bodies. We're trapped in these bodies because we were too impatient to let them show us what to do. And when he conned us into bodies, he that shall not be named went forth and not only conquered us, but he conquered all the other gods. He didn't conquer them. He didn't even fight them. He just made them not be worshiped. And that's why they've gone away. And he created this arena here. They created this arena here for something to be done. What is to be done in this arena? Well, watch this. Here's what's to be done in the arena. The Elohim they planted this vineyard. They put a hedge about it. Same word as firmament. The Elohim created a vineyard, put a firmament about it, created an arena, built a tower so they could watch. And then they went away. They took their hands off of it. And along came this husbandman who started to abuse the people that were in the vineyard. And the Elohim sent people to give the husbandman a chance to repent, who is he that should not be named. And he wouldn't, and he wouldn't, and he wouldn't. Finally, they sent the son, and the husbandman tried to kill him, tried to destroy the word, the Christ, and didn't happen. And what is the end of the story? They, us, took him, cast him out of the vineyard. No, what will happen? The husband will be destroyed, and the vineyard will be given to others. That's what we're playing out. I don't like that word destroy. What does that word mean? Maybe they're more fed up than I thought they were. Let me look at the 12:9, destroy. Ooh. Kill, destroy, perish, move away from. It comes from the word away from. So you may just be cast away. I would rather believe that than be killed. But here's what's going on, folks. Whether you like to think about it or like to hear about it or like to believe it or not, what's happening is that we were put here to learn to exercise dominion over this place that the Elohim made. And this being, he that shall not be named, has usurped that authority and that dominion. And in so doing, he has also not only usurped our authority and our dominion, he has usurped the dominion of all the other gods. That's why Now in the West, which controls the earth, there's only one God. The Jews, one God. The Muslims, one God. The Christians, one God. When we know Rex had a book of 25,000 gods. There's God, like the Christ said, there's a lot of gods. There's a lot of lords. And we have to look at this one. This is the last verse we'll look at. Psalm 82. Let's look at this. Then it's fixing to get real. Psalm 82. Another picture of what we're talking about. The Elohim stood in the congregation of the Elohim and judged among the Elohim. Oh, Jeff, you're lying. You're making it up. The Elohim stood in the congregation of the Elohim and judged between the Elohim. The Almighty Elohim that created us, we're looking at the rat bastard and us, and they're judging between us. What does it mean by judges? It means creating a controversy. They're watching a contest, acting like judges. What do judges judge? They judge contests. I can't make it any clearer. They put us in an arena. The rat bastards here. We're here. And the Elohim are judging the contest. If you can't see that, you don't want to see that. And that means you're stupid and you can't fix stupid, so you might as well go somewhere else because this isn't for you. So here we are in a contest. We've been deceived, we've been dethroned, we've been enslaved, and all the other Elohim have been deceived, enthroned, and enslaved. How have they been deceived, enthroned, and enslaved? Simply because he wouldn't allow anybody to mention their names anymore or worship them, and that's how gods die. So why haven't the Elohim done something to stop him? He's murdering, he's killing, he's raping, there's bloodshed. And why is there all this bloodshed on earth? Why are there wars and rapings and human sacrifice and killings and famine and disease and bloodshed? Why? Because that's what he that shall not be named uses to live. He lives by bloodshed and by the prayers that go up on both sides of the conflict to him. You got people that are believers in Islam praying to Allah, asking for an end to this bloodshed. You got Christians who believe in the Lord, praying to the Lord for the end of this bloodshed. You got Jews who believe in G-D, praying to G-D for the end of this bloodshed. Jew, Christian, Muslim, they're all praying to the rat bastard for the end of bloodshed. And then the crazies, the Jewish terrorists, the Muslim terrorists, and the Christian terrorists, they're all killing each other in the name of Allah, in the name of G-D, in the name of the Lord. And the Lord just sits back and laugh. The rat bastard sits back and laughs and takes all the energy. Plus, he's got a cabal of humans that are specializing in creating these wars, real wars, hot wars. They get rich by the killing, and he that will not be named sits back and takes the bloodshed from both sides and the prayers from both sides and draws his lifeblood from it. And that's where we are. That's what's going on in the arena. So again, why are the Elohim sitting there? I mean, Psalm 82 says that the Elohim are sitting there judging. They're looking at the rat bastard. They're looking at us. They're watching what's going on in this arena. And it doesn't matter what shape the damn place is. It's what's going on the damn place. So away with your effing nonsense. Never another word will I abide of that here, because it's foolishness. Why are they just sitting there watching? Because they're training us. They're waiting. They're not doing anything because they're waiting for us to do something. They're waiting for us to exercise the dominion they gave us over everything. Do we have dominion over the rat bastard? The Elohim said we have dominion over everything, whether you believe them or not. They said it. So why, if you want, next time you want to ask yourself, why won't the Elohim do anything about this? Fill in the blank. Ask yourself, why won't I do anything about this? Why won't we do anything about this? Jeff, are you saying we could stop all war, disease, carnage? We could stop all the bloodshed? Well, I know this, that if we evict the wicked husbandman, just like the scriptures say, that the vineyard will be given to new owners. If we evict the wicked husbandman, we evict the source of the evil and the bloodshed, and then we're just left with dealing with evil men and women. I don't know if evicting the owner, the current husband of the vineyard, will do the whole trick and make everything go great, but I know that we can't change the vineyard until we do evict that husbandman, which is he that shall not be named. So bottom line is, the Elohim have not done anything and aren't going to do anything because they're waiting for you and I to do something, because it's the next step in our spiritual evolution. And you have to wonder how long they'll wait before they just decide, these guys ain't cutting it, and they start the experiment again. I can't find any scripture for that. I don't think it would happen, but you got to wonder, is there a time limit? All games have a time limit. What's the time limit on this game? But forget I said that. It's a little bit fear-ish. But we are in a contest, and the Elohim are waiting for us to stand up. And I am not arrogant enough to think that we as baby Elohims that can't even barely get out of our own bodies yet are ready to take on he that shall not be named. But what if we went to all of those gods whose worship was destroyed? And isn't it interesting that the rat bastard started doing exactly what all the Christians are blaming ISIS for doing right now? What if we went to those gods that had all of their worship destroyed by he that shall not be named? What if we went to those gods that had all of their prayers stolen by he that shall not be named? What if we go to those gods that had all their worship usurped by he that shall not be named? What if we go to those gods whose name no longer graces the lips of men and women, who no longer get any honor from men or women, who no longer get any respect from men or women, who are quite literally near death or all but dead? Because why? They're not getting any energy from humans, and that's how gods die. But instead of just opening a book and going through gods, why not each of us go to our ancestral gods? The gods that our forefathers used to call on. For me, it's Ireland. And I have an 8-page list now of gods of Ireland and the British Isles, gods and goddesses. And I'm going through and I'm learning their names. I'm learning what they do. And the ones that are for rivers and apples and things like that, I'm not going to contact. They're perfectly great gods, but I need gods that can get some stuff done. I need gods that are about war. I need gods that are about fighting. I need gods that are about horses, and gods that are about mountains, and gods that are about the air, in the wind, because the rat bastard is the prince of the powers of the air. I need gods and goddesses who are powerful gods and goddesses. Now, in time, we'll contact them all and bring them into our coalition. But we need the powerful gods. We need the strong gods. And what I'm trying to do is contact all those gods that have been usurped and stolen from by he that should not be named, and say, hey, let's have a quid pro quo. Give a little, get a little. We'll give you honor. We'll give you respect. Your name will once again be on the lips of men and women. You will receive respect and honor. You will receive appreciation. And you will help us evict this wicked husbandman from this vineyard, so this vineyard can be turned over to others, likely the Elohim that used to be there, that were usurped by he that shall not be named. Well, Jeff, are you talking about worshiping them? Give a little, get a little. I'm talking about going to Danu and offering her respect, offering her honor, offering her communication. And if she and Rhiannon and Bridget and some of those others are willing to throw in, I might give a little praise. Give a little, get a little. Some say, beware, better the devil you know than the one you don't. Not in this case. So that is the status of what I'm talking about. And my assertion is, not only can we do it, but it is what we are here to do. It's what we are made for. The scriptures indicate that we were here, we've been placed in this place to learn how to exercise our dominion and to do it. And nothing's going to happen until we do it. If you're waiting for your Savior to come back, it's going to be a long wait, because guess what? There's no Saviors coming back. If you're waiting for some God to come in and save you, you're never going to get saved. If you're waiting for some God to show up and take control of everything, you're going to end up serving a false God and worshiping another manifestation of this usurping he that shall not be named. The question is not, why aren't the Elohim doing anything to stop he that shall not be named? The question is, why aren't you? And the Elohim would not have created this scenario if not only could we not be successful, but we should be successful, because it's what we're meant to do. It's what we're meant to be. It's what we were created for. Let's see what the chat room says about this. Oh my. How come we study from the Holy Bible when most of it is inaccurate? Because the part of it that is accurate is so good that it's worth wading through the rest of the crap. Thank you, Dev Star. It's better than it's worth wading through the rest of the crap. When you get stuff like this, we are supposed to be taking on the rat bastard and establishing our sovereignty on this earth, and they're sitting back watching because they're waiting for us to do it. This is revelation, and that part of truth of the Bible's worth going through all the crap of the Bible. Yes, it's 80% dung, and you got to wade through a lot of dung, but guess what? When you find diamonds like this, it's worth it. Seeking help from that place, spirit, God, whatever that connects with you. Your past search for heritage is a search that will help you find what you're looking for. Yes. Holy Spirit is a laser beam up to heaven, armor of God. Brian, brother, I'm just not sure you're getting this. Scotty Roberts, the cross of St. Andrew beneath the cross of St. George. Oh, Scotty, listen to Scotty bringing forth the history. It's 2 crosses. Fear-mongering info is what's crippling people. Yes, that's true. He took our place. I don't know what that means. We are studying the Nag Hammadi. Hindu, not my style, but to each their own. You know what, Lee? I don't think the Hindu gods would be involved in this because they don't really care about anything but their own little deal. I don't think they would be involved because the Hindu gods are still, think about it, they're still getting called upon. They're still getting prayed to. Everything's good in the Hindu god world. It's good to be a Hindu god. If you're a Hindu god, he that shall not be named hasn't messed with your stuff at all. So I doubt that any of the Hindu gods would be willing to help. Although if you have Hindu heritage, I would encourage you to ask them because, boy, we could sure use their help. There's some strong people over there. He was sneaky. A covenant of people in Hebrew is Britain. So a covenant between a small group of people and he that shall not be named. Stay fearless, my friends. Do blue avians. I heard Jeff say FE and firmament. Yes, you did. And I don't care what shape it is. And I am not putting up with any more of that FE nonsense anymore on this channel. None. Automatic, boom, done. We're done with it because it doesn't matter what shape it is. Once we take the vineyard back, I'll make a deal with you. Quid quo pro, flat earthers. Once you help me take the vineyard back, take the planet back, and we've evicted the rat bastard, once it's ours again, then I'll sit down and talk with you about what shape the place is. But until then, as long as he's still ruling it, I don't care about flat, round, upside down, triangle, star shape. Don't care. Once we take it back, we can talk about what shape the damn thing is. But until then, I'm done with that. It's a no-fly zone for people on Earth. Good point. Which deity doesn't exist? I don't know which one doesn't exist, Lee. I think they're probably all still there somewhere. Operation High Jump and Operation Fishbowl, an arena to watch us go through this crazy life. Yes, it's like a holodeck. Exactly, Davey. MK Ultra and Counter in Pro. Not sure what you mean. You have to recognize your masculine and your feminine. I saw Lipizan Stallions dancing once. Now, that might be the most random comment that I've ever heard in the chat room. Jeff's not having a bad day. Jeff's having a great day. I didn't put any caps in. Oh, and if it's my channel, if I want to yell, I'll yell. It's my party. I'll scream if I want to. Jeff, there was a movie made. I think it was. Can someone mind at the end if Jeff doesn't want to ask about protection because we both feel uneasy and tired? Yeah, I think that we need to start doing. And, Lee asked about the Tower of Babel. That's what, I did a teaching a couple days ago that it was at the Tower of Babel where we decided, we tried this before. Great. Thank you, Lee. This is a great segue because we tried this once before, the Tower of Babel. And if you look on this channel, just research Jeffrey Darty, Tower of Babel. It'll come up and look at those videos on Babel. Tower of Babel was not wicked men rebelling against a righteous God. Tower of Babel was righteous men rebelling against a wicked God. And we tried it. We tried to take our authority back. But guess what? And this is volatile, but it's true. The Hebrews ratted us out and turned and went on the Lord's side. And he was able to maintain his dominion over us because the Hebrews turned on us. And that's why they're called the people from the other side. That's what Hebrew means, because they went with God, with he that should not be named. And that's when he became their God and they became his chosen people because they ratted us out at the Tower of Babel. We do need to start doing our 12D shield. We do need to start doing our protection rituals. I like the LBRP. I do it. I do the modified one. If you're going to be into this battle, you should start doing your protection rituals. Absolutely. Jeff, how do we know that the male and female from Genesis 1 are Adam and Eve? I just did a triple electric violet shield around Jeff. Oh, thank you. I believe I've seen a video that may help the family subject. Sounds like a prison. Ask Jeff at the end of 7 p.m. Can you tell us a little bit about it? We have scratched the surface, monotheism and deism. Atheism is confusing. Would it be a pantheon of gods? Yes, it is a pantheon of gods, but they're been rendered of none effect on this planet because they don't get any worship or praise and their names are never heard. Love conquers all. Who said that? Because I don't think that's true. Judges administer the common law of the land. And if the judges are the ones that said we're supposed to be under dominion, they're sitting back. That's why, Lee, you hit another one. That's why the judges won't do anything. Judges are not, they're judicial. They're not executive. Executive does something, puts something in order. The judges are sitting back watching. Okay, Rat Bastard has usurped their stuff. He's causing all this problem. How long are these? I want to say something bad. How long are these people going to sit around and wait for him? Well, they're crying and whining to us all the time. But why don't we do something? Like Elohim, like what? We gave them what are we supposed to do? We made them many gods. We gave them dominion. We gave them information to know about it. What do they want us to do? Do it for them? We're not going to do it for them. They're not going to do it for us. So they're waiting to administer the common law. They've laid down the law. The law is you're a god. The Christ said it too. The law is we gave you dominion over the earth. And the law is, what are you waiting for? Do it. Get off your dead, lazy butt and do something. Or get out of the way from those of us that are doing something. As a side note, I'm trying to deal. We should let's start again rebuking that hurricane at 11 minutes after the hour. Stupid is as stupid does. That's right. Let's overthrow the rat bastard. And remember, we're not really overthrowing him. We're just evicting him from his husbandship of this vineyard. And then we get to decide who else it's going to be given to, which is interesting. Thank you, Deborah. Gospel Truth Army, Rocker Chick. He's getting all the prayers too. Exactly. And then those nutcases that worship aliens, Bazinga. But guess what, Lee? He's the alien too. So evicting a bad God with love is what will work. Thank you for the dark lessons, but I think I've learned what I need to. So goodbye. Okay. Well, in the words of Curly Bill Brocious from Tombstone, well, bye. Well, bye. Love. Sometimes you got to pick up and start doing something instead of just waiting for unicorns and rainbows and butterflies to do it for you. I'm tired of the abuse. Thank you, Moz, and me too. Talk to the grand rat bastard. I'm out of here. Well, bye. Jeff, you don't seem like you care. It's only because I don't. If you don't want to be part of this, then you don't want to be part of it. I can't make you. They do feel sorry for us, Rocker Chick. That's why they gave us all this information. That's why they sent some crazy idiot to yell and scream and tell you about all this. They are the refs, Aurora, but it's a hands-off game. They let them play in this game. What did Pia say that was true? I missed it. I've been at the crossroads too many times. Once you think you know, then you don't know. It sounds like Scotty Roberts. We got to get smart and figure this out. Let's take our power back, absolutely. Wayne and I tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Laugh at being silly, love at dark lessons couldn't be done by anyone else. Learn from it or history will repeat. I'm not sure what that means. I just went out of the arena. Well, you got to fight your way out. Christine, I don't think they mean for it to be a concentration camp. It's a training ground. It's like basic training. If you've been in the military, you understand. How can you train someone without an opponent to train against? We are being trained to be Elohim. We've got to overcome. There's got to be some actual training. They can't just say, okay, you're Elohim. It's like if those of you that have kids and they started driving, did you just toss them the keys? Go ahead, you're 16, drive on, bro. No, you made sure they could drive. And you taught them and you watched them and you went with them, and same thing. Teach peace, but take no crap. I like that, Lee. Start to show some support. If you're regular and you're here for the right reasons, start to let other folks know what's happening. I agree. That's why we're responsible for ourselves. Absolutely. I'm Irish and German. Is Jeff taking a bath? Jeff taking a bath? I don't think so. I don't get it. Why not gods of healing and love? Because this isn't time for healing and love. This is time for war and battle. Like I said, we will reach out to all the gods at some point, but right now, it's like going into, I mean, it's not time for healing and love. It's time for taking dominion back. Can we reach it through meditation? Yes. Don't feel lonely. The temple of Astra was blown up by ISIS. I turned to the goddess Ocean. Okay, cool. The ancient gods of Ireland didn't do much to protect the Irish from the first Vikings, and then the rape, pillaging, and enslavement by the British. What's your point, Daniel? I wonder, I thought the same thing, Rocker Chick, about Rhiannon. Time to get proactive, people. Yeah, I agree. Native Americans have different chiefs during peace and during war. That's interesting. All righty then. So there you go. There you go. That's the full story. And I'm sticking to it. And I'm finding my gods. I'm finding the ones that I think are the most helpful at this time. And we should probably talk about how we should contact them and what we should say. And then we should contact him and see what's happening. Put on your armor, exactly. What's the question? How do we armor up? Do your protection rituals, do your shielding. Sophia is going to be very key in this. And guess what? It's her little rat bastard, spoiled brat kid that's causing all this. She may be able to do a lot more. Is there something you can show us quick that might help with the tiredness? Look at the 12, look on this channel, Google the 12D shield, Jeff Daugherty 12D shield, or Lisa Renee 12D shield, and Google the D-rat bastardized LBRP. D-rat bastardized LBRP. They're right here on the channel. Yeah, we've been around the block a few times before, but this is new. I've never heard this before. Mawson, I like that. Nana Bluku and Eladumar. I bet you ISIS would like to have her name on the lips of men and women again. D-Rat bastardized help. Yeah, that's good. That's good. 12D shield. D-Rat bastardized. LBRP. Jeff, it's no coincidence you're a martial artist. I mean, you're learning to fight when others can't. I'm actually a double black belt. And that's very interesting. And martial artists don't go picking fights. But martial artists know when there's nowhere else left to run, you have to fight. I've been in the chat room a couple times, Cody. I really respect it. Thank you for that. Ah, a Taoist LBRP. Now that's interesting. Whatever works for you. No, don't delete Cody's stuff. Christine, you did Cody wrong there. Sorry, Cody, that wasn't me. Somebody got a little overzealous. Usually we don't like spamming in the chat room, but she didn't know that you were just helping a brother out. Jen Morris, nice to see you. Power under control. Absolutely. It takes a special kind of person to want to engage with others, especially when it's for the greater good. Yep. So there you go, folks. I don't really have much else to say about this at this point. It just seems like, and we've been here about an hour, and I see Rex just went on, so a lot of you are probably going to bail for that anyway. But I appreciate Rex mentioning it, and let's do it. Let's do it. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I do salute all of you for here, seeking truth and even taking in this information and considering it. Thank you, Jen. Everybody hit the like button. And folks, even if let me show you something that's kind of cool. Let me show you something that's kind of cool before we go. Let me show you something that's kind of cool. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I think it's in my email. Let's go to that real quick. I want to show you this because I think it's cool. And I think you'll like it. Where is it? Here you go. How do you like this? That's pretty cool, huh? Brought to you by Joe. That's pretty cool right there. And that's who we are. That's what we are. And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I think this is something that we gotta do. This is something we gotta do. Oh, the Secret Book of John named some of the Elohim. Yeah, but I think they were the ones under He That Shall Not Be Named. There's always one out there. Is that a Pentagon? There's always one out there. And love for life, we've already talked about not dealing with gods that are blood sacrificing gods. GTA means Gospel Truth Army. That's what GTA means, Gospel Truth Army. That's awesome, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Thank you for being here. Thank you for considering being part of the Gospel Truth Army. Search out your gods, even if you don't decide to rebel with us. It'll be a good exercise to understand your gods and goddesses. And we'll reconvene later. And I think I'll probably be back again with some more truth, or at least my version of it, here tonight a couple times, at least more. And it's just weird. I know that I've never slept 12, 13, 14 hours, slept all day long, felt like I was drugged. I really do. I don't think I was drugged, but I felt like I was drugged. My technology wouldn't work with me. So that inspires me, because I know that we are rebels with a cause. I know that something is really going to happen. And well, Jeff, what happens if you get thumped? Well, I'd rather go out fighting than go on my knees like a slave. I salute you all. We'll see you again real soon. Ponder this. Think about this. And let's get it on.